Alright, good morning. So it is 7:06 right now, and I have like less than an hour to work out. We're doing shoulders today. Also, my pre-workout has kicked in and my ears are like tingling, and I'm like, it's that feeling like I just gotta go and, work out or move or something. So let's get going. Alright, so we're starting off with a warm-up. I was rushing pretty good because I thought that I was going to be able to make my workout in time. Well, I was very mistaken, as you will see, but anyway, so here I'm doing a couple of warm-up sets and things were feeling pretty good. So here I am moving up to 35 pounds, and I mean, I've been out of the gym for quite a while now, and this was feeling better than it has the past like couple of weeks, so I find that as a win. Here I'm really focusing on getting some depth, or as much depth as I can, at least going 90 degrees. And I don't know why I look so grumpy. I look like the grumpy cat meme. So I don't know why. I just realize once you start filming yourself the different faces that you make. But anyway, so I have this last set that I'm doing. I dropped weight, so I believe these are 20s. I wanted to do 25s, but those were taken, so I'm just pumping out some 20s pretty much until failure. Alright, so moving on to some incline press. I'm doing a set here, a warm-up set. Here I'm focusing on not letting the weight drop all the way back down. So I'm really trying to just keep constant tension throughout the full movement. And this is the max weight that I put on for today. Trying to focus on slowing down the eccentric as much as I can, but definitely on the last couple of reps, you can see it's definitely harder, and I went until failure. Now I'm doing another back off drop set here for the last set, and I was feeling pretty tired by this point. Alright, so I definitely misjudged the amount of time it would take me to do my workout, and I had a meeting at 8, so yeah, I'm going back to the gym. My hair is drier now, and also I picked up one of these. If you've ever had them before, it's so good. The macros are pretty good. 11 grams of fat, 26 carb, 20 grams of protein. And I like the Monster Cookie Crunch. I haven't honestly tried any of the other flavors. I'm sure they're good, but this tastes like a legit candy bar. It's so good. So anyway, I'm gonna eat this, head back to the gym, finish doing shoulders, and then yeah, I'll catch up with you guys then. Also, the weather is crazy outside. Yeah. Alright, so here I am back at the gym doing a little bit of a quick warm-up right before getting into some lateral raises. So I started off with 15 pounds and I still had, I believe, like 3 or 4 sets to do, so I was definitely needing to drop down from 15 pounds, so here I am doing 12 pounds. And a cue that I use is pulling up with my elbows. So if you can imagine the seated lateral raise machine, they have it positioned so that you're raising up with your elbows and not your wrists. So if you feel like your wrists are leading, just make that slight adjustment and think of pulling up with your elbows. Now on this last set, it was a triple drop set. So I went down from 12 pounds down to 10, down to 8, down to 5, just one after the other, and oh my gosh, it was a killer. So yeah, if you haven't tried it before, I highly recommend it because your shoulders will be absolutely fried after this. God, that is the face of pain if I've ever seen it. God. It's crazy how much weight 5 pounds feels like after doing this. I'm like fighting for my life right now. Alright, so now I'm moving on to some front raises. And I started off with the rope attachment, and after the second set, I wasn't loving it, honestly. I like having the hands slightly turned in, but I don't like them just being straight up and down, if that makes sense. So I end up switching to a bar, I think in this next set. So here I am changing the grip, changing the attachment, and it made all the difference. And you do not need a lot of weight on the cable, because I feel like on the cable machine, everything feels like 10 times harder. If you've ever tried single arm lateral raises on the cable machine and it's like 10 pounds, that does not feel like 10 pounds. It feels so much heavier. So yeah, this was definitely a killer. So here's just another angle, and if you're worried about the cable like running up on your crotch, just move closer to the weight stack and it won't be an issue, honestly. And I'm pretty short, and I don't run into that issue. So anyway, now we're moving on to single arm lateral raises. And I don't know why this lighting, I feel like I look pretty buff in this lighting. I usually don't look this buff, but yeah, so this machine though felt really good. I really like it for single arm. You can do double arm on this machine, but I really like just focusing on each side. Alright, so now we're doing some, I guess I would say, rear delt cable fly, and just really focusing on squeezing with the rear delt and trying to keep the arm at the same angle throughout the movement. So I'm not bending my elbow and straightening it. I'm really just keeping that slight bend in the elbow throughout the full movement, but not changing that at all. Alright, so I'm tying up my hair because I'm going to do some cable ab crunches, and I don't like mopping the floor with my hair, and I've definitely done that before, so I'm tying it up, and here I'm really focusing on exhaling at the bottom, letting all the air out of my stomach at the bottom and really squeezing my abs. This honestly is one of the only ab exercises I think you need, because you can progressively overload it by increasing the weight or, time under tension. It's a really, really good exercise for strengthening the core. Okay, and then finally, we're moving on to rear delt flies. Now, this, I'm really not pinching the middle of my back. I'm more thinking of pushing my arms out and keeping them like away from my body throughout the full movement. And man, I feel like that like thinking about pushing my arms out throughout the full movement really helps like squeeze my rear delts, and I don't feel it in any other muscle. And here I am trying to flex in the bathroom. Alright, so I'm back from the gym. I'm going to have the rest of the chicken. I didn't quite finish it yesterday. I have some really old chicken that I'm also going to eat with the taters. Potatoes. And I'm also going to have a big bowl of oatmeal. And yeah, I'm just trying to get in all the carbs that I need to today. Getting some protein from the chicken after the workout. And then probably in a couple of hours I'll have another meal and then dinner. Something like that. Generally I try to get like 3 or 4 pretty solid, decent, like big meals in a day. But sometimes when I'm working, I start forgetting to eat. And so that's something that I've really been working on this past year is making sure I get in all of my nutrition. That's why tracking for me personally really helps, because I have to be, you know, thinking about, all right, I need to eat now, so that I don't just like lose track of time and then never eat throughout the day. And then it's like 6 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten. I wonder why I feel like so awful today. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna get going. I'll show you what the meal looks like. It's not gonna look really pretty probably, but it usually doesn't. So I just wanted to mention real quick that with all of the videos that I'm posting, I'm not gonna list out the specific macros for every single thing, and not even really share exactly what my personal macros are, because they change, you know, a lot. But what is pretty consistent is getting 140 grams of protein in a day for me. So if you're trying to get in a lot of protein, this is what I do. It's not necessarily the best way for every single person, but I like meal prepping a big bulk of protein at the beginning of the week, and then sometimes halfway through if I want another protein source. But getting just a bunch of chicken and throwing it in the crock pot and having that ready for, you know, a few days saves me usually just so much time, because I don't have to keep on cooking and, you know, throughout the week and then thinking about each individual meal that I'm eating. I already have all the ingredients prepped. All I have to do is just assemble it. Like right now I have all my chicken prepped, all of my potatoes prepped in these like containers, so I can just easily measure it out. So yeah. All right, so here it is. I also heated up some broccoli. It was frozen broccoli. When I put it on the plate, it didn't heat up because it was still frozen, which makes sense. So I just heated that separately. Chicken, potatoes. I just used the last of the ketchup. It's from this Primal Kitchen. Macros are good, so it's low in sugar and everything. If you're looking to get a ketchup replacement that's low in sugar, I like it. Trusty old Truff. Then I'm also going to have this with it. It's just like 15 grams of protein, just out of the packet. My sister's cat literally eats better than this. So... Alright, so I finished the night off with some chicken, rice, avocado, potatoes. I was calling with my mom, so I didn't record the audio. I also had some oatmeal. So thank you guys for staying tuned today, and I'll see you in the next one.